If you can't handle a baddie, leave her alone. And we are black, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Meant to Be podcast, where we discuss all things relationships and pop culture. I'm your host, Marvin Williams, and with me, as always, my favorite hot girl is Rachel Williams.
Hello, hello.
How you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. I worked and I was able to get off a little early, which was really nice because my client showed up a little early, so we was able to get her in, get her out.
Yeah, love that for me. I love having time at the end of the day to spend time with you, actually.
Oh, same, babe.
Oh, my God.
You like me?
A little bit. Today, we're breaking down the difference between jealousy and real intuition, how to stay secure when your partner is attractive, and ultimately, how to handle dating a bad bitch without embarrassing yourself. If this is your first episode, welcome. You get this one for free because it's our soft launch together. But this is your second time hanging with us. You're family now, and it's time to hard launch and make it official. Okay, quick pause because we have to show some love to our sponsor, Pop Snacks. Pop Snacks is a monthly mystery snack box that lets you discover treats from different countries without leaving home. And every box is different. So you might get international chips, candies, cookies, sweets, and even rare drinks. So if you love trying new things, use the link in our description to get 40% off your first Pop Snacks box. Thanks, Pop Snacks. All right, back to the episode. So here's our keep it real deal. Wherever you're listening or watching, do us one favor and please hit subscribe or follow. That's how you keep the show alive and we can keep it real and keep it kind. While you're at it, sound off in the comments. What's the healthiest reassurance you've ever received? All right, first, let's define the word baddie before y'all start acting brand new. All right, so baddie, attractive, confident, gets attention, usually something that has to do with the online perception. The real issue isn't their attractiveness, because you should always be infatuated with your partner. The real issue is the partner's security and the relationship's boundaries. You know, being in a relationship does bring eyes and pressure because the outside world is not always going to know that you're in a relationship, but that attention is still going to be there. And if you want a baddie, then you're signing up for the attention, and the only way to overcome that inner saboteur is trust, and more on that later. But overall, if you can't handle a baddie, leave her alone. I'm looking at you, Klay Thompson.
Oh,
We're not inside their relationship. I don't feel no type of way about any celebrities' relationships because I don't really care. But I think the audacity to disturb someone's peace when they're doing so well and do them wrong is crazy. To see and know what this woman has been through in such quick succession. You know, losing, I think, her parents, her grandmother getting shot and all this stuff. Like,
yeah.
to know all these things that's just going on with this woman, things that I wouldn't wish on nobody.
No.
Nobody that's not number 47.
Ooh.
I think it's really messed up to do this to people because that really does mess with your head and it sticks with you for a long time.
Right.
And I think it comes down to like a lack of respect and trust. And when that trust is broken, secure people choose peace. You know, a baddie doesn't need to prove that they're desirable. They need a partner who respects them and a relationship where trust is protected. Okay, now let's get into the real meat. Jealousy versus intuition. Rachel Williams.
Yes.
What is the difference between jealousy and intuition to you?
To me, I feel like jealousy is low-key based off of something that, like, for example, like if I was insecure about something on my body, but I saw somebody else and it was great and it was something that you, not necessarily that like you noticed or you liked, but like if, say, you liked a photo of somebody who has like the type of body I would know that you would typically go towards, then maybe there would spark a little bit of like jealousy to be like, okay, well, why is he liking that type of thing? So I feel like it is more inner insecure based when it comes to like jealousy, because I feel like from jealousy, it starts with like envy and insecurities. And when it comes to intuition, that is like a female's gut, like telling you like something is off. You need to like keep an eye out on that. Because I feel like for a while I had good intuition, but it came across as jealousy, even though I knew it was more intuition based than jealousy based, but I did, and this wasn't with you. This was a previous relationships where like I would see a significant other like or comment or do something for like a girl's post, and then it should have been a red flag to know that like, okay, my significant other should not be making comments on their page like this, or like just keeping an eye out to knowing like that person is actually a dog and was just a cheater anyways. And my gut always told me that they were, but like I would always let what they said like pass. So, and not to say you do any of that. Honestly, you like, what's crazy is also within like growth of like, there are celebrities that you like their pictures, you like their videos that have a little bit more to it. That, did you hear
Was that a
him?
bark? Was it a growl? What was that?
It was a grunt.
I saw someone walk by, but like his face was
Anyways, so I feel like with you also like the trust part of it comes into play, which I know I heard you saying we're gonna get back to that. So yeah, for me, intuition, that gut feeling that's telling you, all right, there's a red flag, something's up. And I've always told myself, always trust your gut because it's never going to steer you wrong. And then jealousy is, I feel more insecurity based or kind of envious, like comparisons of like, I see what you have, I don't have that. So why is my significant other doing something to entertain or engage with that, you know?
Yeah, I definitely feel like we're on the same page there. I think a lot of just in general, I feel like jealousy stems from unhealed trauma. You know, I do feel for you if you have a history of your partner cheating on you, but I think it is very unfair to bring that into your next relationship and put that on your new partner. You have to kind of shift your mindset from jealousy to intuition if you want to overcome that inner saboteur. So jealousy kind of shows up in like checking phones, stalking likes, or Snapchat scores, which people are still doing nowadays.
Still doing that for some reason.
Then you like interrogate your partner and things, and it's like it's controlled disguised as concern.
Yeah.
And then you end up doing a lot of spiraling and making assumptions based on what your head is telling you rather than having something to actually like back that up. Whereas on the flip side, intuition is usually your body's response to that inconsistency, that anxiety from those mixed signals. You know, it's pattern and evidence based where you're able to see those repeated boundary breaks, lies, and people disappearing. And that respect is ultimately missing. So having all of those things where you're able to actually like pick up and say, no, I'm not crazy. This is stuff that I have seen before. And that's where like I can actually back this up. This isn't just my mind playing tricks on me the way that jealousy can be.
I'm so sorry. When you were talking, I got, good, you look good. Won't you back that ass up?
Just because I said nothing to back it up.
Yeah. I don't know. The way you said back it up, I was like, that just started playing in my head, and I was over here just.
The way your mind works is fascinating.
You love it.
I do. All right. So the question becomes, how do you check yourself without dismissing yourself?
How do you check yourself?
Let me get to it.
You need to get to it.
Our mind
faster.
got there at the same time. You have to give me a second to let it out. I have the floor here.
I am the captain now.
All right. So here is a 4-question filter to ask yourself to know if it's intuition or jealousy. So 1, is this a one-time feeling or a repeated pattern? 2, do I have evidence or just fear? 3, have I communicated the boundary clearly? And 4, are they responsive or defensive? You know, if your partner is healthy, they'll reassure you, they'll clarify and help you collaborate on boundaries. But if it's a red flag, then they'll mock you, they'll hide things, and then they'll blame you for reacting. Am I missing anything there? You don't have to read the words.
No, I have to because, like, when I'm a visual person.
Since when?
Since always.
No.
I'm a visual person.
You don't have to actually see it. You can see it in your head.
Not always.
That's the way you've always said.
No, I can see things in my head when it comes to like, if I'm like reading a book for a long period of time, I can create a world. But if you're sitting here and you're just naming a list, by the time I get to the end of the list, I've forgotten what you said at the top of the list. Okay? So I like to see it. So, okay, say it again. I know.
Said,
just
is
say
this
it
a
again.
one-time feeling or a repeated pattern? Do I have evidence or just fear? Have I communicated the boundary clearly? And are they responsive or defensive?
That sounds good.
Okay. That's all I was asking for.
That sounds about right.
Okay. Now, we all know about the cheese tax. Let's talk about the attention tax, you know, the real hidden costs of dating a baddie. Now, I personally cannot stress how often Rachel gets eyes on her, whether I'm there or not. You know, I've left the room and she's been hit on almost immediately. And if I wasn't as evolved as I am now, I wouldn't be able to handle this. But I did all the work before getting to this one. You know, the reality is people flirt in public, DMs don't really stop, and social media visibility amplifies everything. Now, what's a respectful way to handle someone flirting with your partner in public?
Shoot, I don't care. Like, and again, this comes from like an evolved me. If somebody is flirting with you in public, then I am very much like, I'm one of those that I'm like, yeah, girl, he looks good, don't he? Like, he is so nice. And then I'm like, all right, baby, let's go. Because you are attractive. I know this. So I know that you are going to be hit on. So it's like people comment on like your body, your size, your very nice, muscly, thick, scrumptious
Focused
man. And people like to make comments. So it's just like, at this point, I'm like, yeah, you can make a comment because you can say all you want. He's coming home with me at the end of the day. And that's not on a cocky thing or in anything. That's on a, I know you're coming home. So I don't got to worry about it. So it's like, as long as I know you can handle a flirtatious comment well, then I'm okay. And that comes with like the trust that we have developed previous relationships leading us up to this relationship. To understand that like, okay, yeah, we can't stop someone from making a comment to us, but what we can stop is how far the comment goes. And if someone wants to make a comment to you, to me, I'm like, you can make a comment. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for complimenting my man. He is a very fine looking man. Now let's leave, because at the end of the day, I know what I have. And unfortunately, I used to be like that too with an ex of mine, and knowing that later on he was going to DM that girl to see what they was doing. And I'm like, cool. Like, you know, he would take it as far as to get in the Instagram and trying to be like, oh, it's for my music. What music?
That's crazy.
What music? Let's be honest. You know, one of them little wannabe SoundCloud rappers and got 30 years old and still ain't where he wants to be. So that just tells you where him and I are in life. So for me, I used to be that way with him, and I would be like, I would look like a fool. I would look like an absolute fool. And I had to heal that for them when, like, you know, God prepared me for you in that sense where it's like, I got back to that point where I could trust again and be able to be like, yeah, thank you so much for complimenting him. I appreciate you. But like, the boulder on my finger says he's coming home with me. Like, that was cute. I'll be like, oh, thanks. Now, let's go.
It's funny because I have never gotten comments. I know there's been comments made kind of like around or like in your vicinity, but like for me, all I ever notice is like if I'm out in public or something, I'll notice when I get like eyes, but no one ever actually comes up and like says anything to me. But I feel like that's just like how women shoot their shot. They just look.
It's the eyes for sure. They try to hit you with the little, you know.
What was that?
You need a play-by-play. You know, yeah, no, definitely. I see the eyes on you a lot. And I mean, I see men size you up because.
No, trust me, I get that all the time.
Yes, you're an intimidating looking guy at first. Like but people don't realize you're a teddy bear. You're a big dude, but you are such a softie. You're like a little cookie. You're a little
cookie,
crunchy and hard on the outside, and then you're nice and soft. Your personality is nice and soft and gooey. And
this is an interesting cookie you got going on here.
But like, because I have seen, like, when we're walking together, like, I will see the sizing up, and then I'll see, like, women stare, And it doesn't bother me because for me personally, I would probably rather have people that would want to look at what I've got holding my hand. You know, like I got a nice fine piece of man right here. Like, and it should be nice to be able to like show you off, give you a little spin. So yeah, I definitely feel like people don't realize your personality though. Cause like I will say sometimes you walk around and your face is a little more like,
I'm just like in the zone. I got things to do. Like if I'm at the
yeah,
grocery store, I got my list. I know exactly what I'm here for so I can get in and get out. If I'm
yeah.
going to the gym, I'm here to work out. I'm not here to answer questions, even though people love to like ask me questions while I'm at the gym. They're like, what are you working on? How do you do this? How much do you lift? I'm like, just have my headphones in. Let me do my thing, please.
Yeah,
Please.
like I remember when it was one of our first like actual outings with like the fam bam up in Ohio. We went to the zoo and we were walking a little bit ahead of like my mom and some of the other family members. And I just remember specifically my mom had said how at one point, like we got back home and she was like, I just love Marvin. And like, she was like, I saw so many people like sizing him up. And she's like, but that's a good sign because I know that he's a protector and he can protect you and people find him intimidating. So then that way they don't mess with you. Because my mom was like, I don't want anybody to think that it's okay to like mess with you in your relationship. So like, she was like, I liked seeing that people were kind of intimidated. Men would kind of step aside a little bit more so than usual. My mom was like, it was really nice to see that like my baby's protected. She has a guy that's like such a like precious soul, but like will, you know, step up if he needs to step up.
Yeah, nobody wants problems with the big man unless they're drunk at the bar and then they want to fight the biggest person there.
Right.
But I really am a gentle giant, but I will absolutely beat somebody's ass about my wife. So this is just where we are, guys. So don't try it. But like I said, we've been out, like we went bowling up in Ohio and I went to go get food for us. And like the guy in like the next lane trying to get your number and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I know my wife is beautiful. I knew you're beautiful when I liked you on Hinge. So like it's nothing new to me.
Yeah.
And then knowing that you're a model, like I expect people to like you and like your pictures and want to make comments and stuff. So it's par for the course, but I don't take anything personally.
Right, me
because
neither.
this is all the growth that I've done. Like high school, early college me would not be able to handle this, but
yeah.
keep on with bad bitches. So here we are. All right, so now let's give the people some tools because some of y'all don't need a new partner. You need a new script. So here's some like rules for staying secure. So one, compliment in public, but clarify in private. If there's anything that you feel like was a bit of a misunderstanding, there's your opportunity to kind of come together as a team. Two, ask questions, don't accuse. I know something can feel some type of way in a moment, but you don't want to let that overpower the love that you do have for your partner. You definitely want to make sure that your partner feels cared for and that you guys can address anything without everything always turning into something. And then three, boundaries are mutual, not one sided. So if you have something that you want to address, they should also feel comfortable addressing anything on their end. So being able to come together and figure these things out together as a partnership, because that's what it is.
Together right now. Oh, me.
Okay. All right. And then in the realm of keeping it real and keeping it kind, here's how you can handle a jealousy talk. You know, if I'm feeling a little activated right now and I don't want to make up stories in my head, can you reassure me and help me understand what's going on? And then if you have to figure out boundaries, maybe try, I'm not trying to control you, I'm trying to protect us. So, what boundaries feel respectful to both of us, both online and in person? And at the end of the day, always apologize for any misunderstandings and reassure your partner. You know, I'm sorry. I choose you. I'm here. Let's fix this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, what can a secure partner do and not just say in their relationship? to make sure that they're all on the same page?
I feel like first and foremost is just like kind of for the beginning of the relationship, being very open and honest about what you accept, what you don't accept, what you feel comfortable with, what you don't feel comfortable with. Because then if somebody already fights you on your comfortability, your boundaries, and already you know, like maybe we shouldn't even do this in the first place if you're not even gonna like support my boundaries or respect my boundaries and my decisions. So I think definitely like just from the jump, making everything very clear. And things change over time. Your relationship grows and shifts and changes. So it's like, it's not always going to be the same. But if you're willing to start with like at least some base level, and then that way, as you're growing together, you know, the things that like shift and change isn't going to be so crazy because then you're doing it together. And one thing that might have bothered you before might not bother you anymore. Or one thing that didn't bother you before might bother you now. And as long as your partner is willing to continue to help make you feel the most comfortable and secure through it and like support and being like, all right, if that's something you're not comfortable with, cool. It's done. If a partner starts to argue or fight you about it, there's always room for compromise. At the end of the day, if you can't come to a compromise, then that already should tell you where the relationship stands. And if they're not willing to meet you with where you're at, then it's already going to make the relationship feel a little rocky. So I would rather have everything like pretty much set up for success in a relationship off rip than being like, oh, we'll get there when we get there. If I heard that one more freaking time, oh, well, let's just go with the flow. Let's just get there when we get there. We'll figure it out when the time comes. No, if anybody tells you that, they're not ready for a relationship. And if you're the one saying that, you're not ready for a relationship. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are scared to have these conversations because sometimes it does mean that you're not ready for a relationship or this isn't the relationship for you. And honestly, that's okay. That's
Right.
just something that you have to mentally know going into it. Like, this may be time to call it. But that's some work that you may have to do in advance of going into these relationships, or maybe that's your cue that now it's time to do this work. You know, the work ain't easy, but it's honest. All right. All hearts clear?
That's it?
Yeah,
There's not more?
that's all I got. We're 30 minutes deep.
Wow. I thought there'd be more. You surprise me sometimes.
Yeah, not all long ones.
No, they're not.
All right. I hope y'all are able to take something away from this episode. And if you can, we want to take something away too. So remember, comment below. What's the healthiest reassurance you've ever received? If you've enjoyed this episode or any episode, please share with your loved ones because it really makes a difference. And while you're at it, if you have it in your means, please donate to our IVF and surrogacy GoFundMe. The link is in the description and in our bios, as always. If you can't donate, shares are always powerful, as well as likes and comments. Rachel, where can the people find you?
People can find me on Instagram at rosegold_Ray. That's RAE. You can also find me on TikTok, rosegold Ray. And also you can follow my nail page.
That's cat eye on you hoes.
And my nail page is at Nails by Rachel W. That's RACHAEL. Marvin, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me on my personal page at Marvin_Martian10. Martian is spelled MARTIAN, number 10. Make sure you guys follow the show on both Instagram and TikTok at Meant to Be Pod. That's Meant to Be Pod. And of course, if there's anything you want to email us about, you can email us at meanttobepod@gmail.com. That's MEANT, number 2, BEPOD @gmail.com. I promised you guys that we were going to get here within 2 weeks, and I didn't know what the episode was. And in 2 more weeks, I don't know what that episode's going to be. I have an idea, but again, I'm doing my best, honey. But while we're at it, I want to challenge you guys to tell your partner one thing that makes you feel secure and ask them what makes them feel secure. All right? Sending you messages. Till then, 2 weeks. Keep it real. Keep it kind. See you guys.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
Oh, God.